Well, today is June 19th of 2020. And today is the anniversary of the coronation of Philippe VI, or better known as Felipe VI, King of the Iberians, of King of Spain. And today is also an anniversary of what they trying to condition you to, the end of slavery. Well, let's analyze that conditioning. Why they want to condition your reflexes? I have no idea, but I think everything indicates that is to put away or to change the blame of slavery onto somebody else. My ancestors. So let's analyze it. Let's take that blame of my ancestors and switch it to the correct responsible of slavery. Let me see if I can set it up so I can myself explain it. Okay, in 1865, at the end of the Civil War, or the war in between the states, the United States of America troops arrived in the city of Galveston, Texas. And that is the significant. Galveston, Texas. Who was Galveston? Or Bernardo Conde de Galvez, where the city's named after him. Well, he was a Mexican. He was a Cuban. He was a Venezuelan. He was a Colombian. He was an Extremeño. He was, I think it was Catalan, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, he was from the Iberia Peninsula. He was a subject of the Spanish Empire. And he was one of the founding fathers of the United States of America. Yes, he was a founding father of the United States of America. It's a matter of fact that without Mr. Galvez, Juan Galvez, his brother, and all the rest of the founding fathers, we will not have a United States of America. So when the troops arrived, that part of the country was already annexed to the United States of America. Basically what happened is the United States of Mexico allow the industrialists of the United States of America to take residency inside their territories and allow them to exercise commerce. These people decided that they're going to take it over, and they did. So what I'm trying to say is that the United States of Mexico did not have slaves. The slave came with the people from the United States of America, that they immigrated into the United States of Mexico. Yes, sir, there were immigrants into the United States of Mexico, not the other way around. So what happened is the people who immigrated into the United States of Mexico who had slaves did not tell their slave they were free by Mr. Lincoln 2 years earlier. So basically, they got forced to do it after the troops landed. But that is not quite correct either. Let's analyze what Lincoln said, what Lincoln was selling, and why. Mr. Lincoln, the almighty Mr. Lincoln, the old elegant Mr. Lincoln, the old genius lawyer for the railroad Mr. Lincoln, the one that basically assassinated half of the population of the United States of America, he did not free the slaves. No, that wasn't a strategy. And how he worked it out was pretty simple. I tell everyone, the world that I will free the slaves. No more slavery. No more men enslaving other men. And this has been going on since humanity started. So now what Mr. Lincoln does, he goes out there and give a little speech, and at the beginning of the speech, start with, I, the President of the United States of America, completely, the name of this country, the United States of America, free the slave. And then he goes into a long act, and then in the background they say, except. And then through the middle, he never mentioned again the United States of America. Now he say the United States, the United States. So everything is like removing the correct name and implying that the United States of Mexico. Remember, the Mexico name is the United States. So basically, it's a sublime conditioning of reflexes. He goes and say, I am freeing the slave, except in this county, except in this other county, except in this other jurisdiction, except in this, I don't know, Roanoke, Virginia, except the county is called West Virginia, and he goes on and on and on. So at the end, they repeat once again, the United States of America. So now, the almighty man that freed the slave, Mr. Lincoln, actually, he slaughtered half of the population of the United States of America just to control the way we govern with armed forces. And then he does not free the slave. He freed some slaves that he conveniently selected. And now they bring the news to Galveston, Texas, like saying, oh, the Spaniards were the ones that enslaved you. But the problem is that the Spaniards never enslaved anybody. It's a matter of fact that the Spaniards mixed with the population of the United States of America at the time, or what we call the United States of America, the United States of Mexico, and the entire American continent. They did not need slaves. And the Spaniards never were into slavery because they themselves suffered slave. My grandfather, at one point, he was a slave. And every other people from the Iberia Peninsula. So they knew what slavery was. And now they trying to imply that Mr. Columbus killed the native population. But we know that the native population right now is alive and well in the Americas. If you go to Peru, if you go to, I don't know, Paraná, I don't know, Brazil, these people native to this continent, they continue to exercise their biology, their culture. Now, I don't say they are not under pressure. I think they are under pressure by society itself, or by the way their world is expanding. that is my critique about Mr. Lincoln. Mr. Lincoln, I believe, is the worst president the United States of America ever had. I mean, it is as simple as that. I mean, worse than Jimmy Carter. And basically, I owe my life to Jimmy Carter. Mr. Lincoln slaughtered everybody, and he got lucky that the English got in it. Otherwise, he probably would have lost that fight. And that is what we have today. That is why we have Reconstruction, and that is the reason we need to take those symbols down. We need to take those symbols. They destroy the United States. They divide us, and they alive and well. And we need to reconstruct it correctly. We need to make this country not the land of Lincoln, but we need to make this country the land of the United States of America. What they created, the originals, the founding fathers, the Esteban Rodriguez Miro, the Mr. George Washington, Monroe, Francisco Miranda, Juan Galvez, Cabeza de Vaca. I mean, all these people, they created the United States of America. Their idea was to keep the English out, the English crown out, and unite the continent, and they did protect the native. They did until it became English. When it became English, they no longer was a fight about European powers in between the French, the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the English. Now it became a takeover of the English again, with their culture onto the native, till the native, not only the native, but my family. My family, they were here way before they were. So now that is what is happening right now. That is why they're taking Columbus down. But we need to reconstruct. And yes, I think it is time to do that. It is time to return those symbols back to what and who they belong. When people see the Cross of St. Andrews on the flag of Mississippi, or it used to be on the flag of Georgia, it used to be on many flags in the south of the United States of America, and they should remove it. They should remove it from the state flag, the Cross of St. Andrews. But they have to tell the people why they're removing these symbols, and why and who these symbols originally belong to, and why they were utilized. Because if you just take the flag out and you do not transfer that knowledge, it's going to appear the Spaniards, not the United States of America, put that flag there, and they enslaved everyone, and they imposed this symbol to the United States population, color-coded slave, and color-coded black, and color-coded Democrats or whatever. So we need to teach people that this group of basically I mean, I don't know how to describe these people who want to divide us, utilize those symbols to impose themselves on you. But those symbols, they do not belong to them. Those symbols don't belong to them. The flag of Florida does not belong to the Ku Klux Klan. The Cross of St. Andrew does not belong to the Ku Klux Klan. The swastika does not belong to the Ku Klux Klan or any fascist organization, the facet, the one on the protecting the United States of America flag, those symbols, the facets, they do not belong to any predatist and crazy organization. It belongs to you. It belongs to all of us. It doesn't matter what you color code yourself. And that is the reason we need to stop color coding the population of the United States of America. And we need to do it. And I'm trying to do my best to accomplish that. It might take 100 years again, but we will do it. Because as it is right now, the television continue to bombard you with America, 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 black, black. I mean, it's like insanity. They start talking about, I don't know, music. Like this morning, NPR, public radio, was talking about jazz. I mean, jazz music. And they are not just talking about musicians. They right away inject African American. That music belongs to all of us, belongs to the United States of America. It does not belong to a specific group. That is what they're selling you. That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to divide you. And they are the enemies of the United States of America. So make no mistake about it. Mr. Columbus, you can call him whatever you want to call him. You can take his monuments down, and when you sit down and realize what these men have done for you, you will stop and think. Because if you truly analyze the data, the data is going to reflect exactly what I'm saying. This how can I say, taking over of identity, destroying someone's identity, is the creation of the English kings, the English high society, English high society where they feel superior to the Welsh, and superior to the Irish, and superior to the Scots, and superior to everybody in the world. If you are not English and belong to the high society, drinking tea every morning, you are zero. We are going to control you. And that is who is spraying this misinformation and the stolen identity of the entire world. So fight it, and let's create the 51st State of the Union. And now the people from the District of Columbia, they want themselves become a state. I think we need to include them too. I always forgot about that they have no say because they are a district. So yes, let's include the District of Columbia, our capital, our district where our government sits, into the 51st State of the Union. And maybe we ought to change the name from Oceania to the State of Christopher Columbus. Or maybe the State of Cristobal, or maybe the State of Colombia. We can do that. We can do whatever we want. We are the United States of America, and we already have proven that when our population get together behind something, there is no one on this planet that can stop us. So protect your identity. Do not allow some foreign people controlling your information to tell you that Bernardo Conde de Galvez in Galveston, Texas, where the troops of the United States of America arrived on a June 19, 1865, and brought the news to the people of the state of Texas that is a day of Illuminados. Is an Illuminado day. Is the day of the light. Well, saludos, and see you on my next rant. And remember, this nation is yours.